That could be one of our April Fool's videos. It's just the Topher giving us a piggyback ride.
Yeah.
It'll be
1989 Chris Amos. POV.
Yeah.
Driving
binaural audio. Shift him into sport mode. You just kick him in the ass. Weren't we gonna get do this in the evening and get real turned up or something for this podcast?
That's what I suggested, but you seemed that you didn't really want to do that.
I would have been down.
I suggested that.
Someone play it back. Did I downplay that idea? I'm sure I said it was cool. However, Hyundai covered that for us last night.
I was gonna say I'm continuing to represent.
Yeah, you are. Does that mean you haven't changed since last night?
I did actually change everything except the hoodie and my hat.
Fair enough. I think it looks pretty lined up.
Yeah. Yep, it's Friday.
It is Friday.
Except it's Tuesday for
all of you. Or Monday night if you're one of the audio listeners. I was released a little early for that. Yeah. Last week we had over 230 audio listeners.
Wow, that's frightening. We have a new vehicle on set.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 987 Cayman-S, courtesy of my buddy Sean that sent this down for Christmas.
Thank you, Sean. Benet.
Sean Benet.
It sounds like it'd be a dessert right here. A Benet.
There's actually an artist named Benet, like a singer.
Huh?
She's very popular during the first COVID lockdown.
She French?
Yeah. My hands are really dry. You need lotion?
Chris, what do you think I am a lotion?
Just like,
if there's any lotion in this office, you probably don't want it. Welcome to episode 63 of the Daily Water Podcast, brought to you by All Brand Cereal.
And Sean Benet.
I have a conspiracy theory.
Okay.
Genesis knew that we were wrapping up our thoughts on the CT4 today, so they invited us out to this and wine and dined us last night at the hockey event, so that I would be hungover for the review of the Cadillac and have more negative thoughts.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that we in comparison to their G70, because it's a direct competitor.
Oh, the G70s.
Yeah.
I'd have the G70.
Well, right.
Okay. Sorry, Cadillac. I do like your car. I don't know that Charlie likes it too much, but
yeah,
I've enjoyed the CT4.
We'll get into that here in just a moment. But yeah, we had a good time last night. Monday had us out and watched the Red Wings win 4-1 over the New York Rangers.
That's right. And my buddy Daniel Froome was honored.
Shout out Daniel.
Military. He was honored on the big
old screen.
It was really cool to see.
It was like our country.
Exactly. It was a cool coincidence that we happened to be there to see that.
Yeah.
Because it's cool to see like a childhood friend get pretty sweet.
Do you have any family members in the military, or that were in the military?
Family members?
Like,
both grandpas were. I think that was it though. Was anybody else? I mean, everybody was. I feel like all of our grandparents were in the military. Were your grandparents in the military? No. Yeah, I'm pretty sure both of mine were. Well, I know for sure
I think
one grandpa was. He was in the Korean War.
One of my grandparents was, I believe. Okay. My grandmother's second husband. I've had a lot of grandparents.
That's true.
I've had 8.
Interesting how that works.
Yeah, all sets divorced and remarried.
Huh.
Okay. Yeah, so listen, I joke that I have quantity, she had quality, because all her grandparents are dead.
Oh my god.
Well, she was the youngest.
She's the youngest, that's right.
6 kids. I mean, her parents were...
They got the girl and then stopped.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They were like, thank goodness.
They were like,
no,
all right, we're done.
Yep. Well, especially because there was a home birth, no ultrasound or anything, so they didn't know until it came out in their bedroom, and they're like,
they were very,
hey!
They were very yeehaw in that way. Yeah. Were all the children born like that?
No, her mother did 4 in the hospital, and then after that, she's like, I got it. I kind of attribute it to
is Alyssa the 5th?
She's the 6th.
She's the 6th, so she did 2 at home.
Yeah. I attribute it to if you owned a car and you took the first 4 oil changes at the dealer, and then after that, you're like,
okay,
I can take care of it myself.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I think I'll have to probably do my next Maverick oil change on my own. I didn't expect it.
You have a board up here.
3. Yeah. That's
10,500.
Quite behind. I need to set 15.5.
You also no longer own the Ninja.
You're right. and the truck needs to go on there. I think I've departed from using the whiteboard and I now have a note on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Keep track of that
Well, we
stuff,
should use that whiteboard for something else.
Sure.
We should hang it behind us and write things out.
That could be amusing, yeah. And put it like somewhere around here, and then
We could
do, like,
throughout
a
the
word
week
of
write
word
things. Yeah, or throughout the week write things that we want to talk about.
That's actually would be really smart. The only problem is we're only in here on Monday, so we'd have to write things on a note.
Well, I'm in here. I'm in here for.
That's true. We come in and out.
I'm in and out of here like most days.
Yeah. Speaking of DMHQ, we had an unfortunate incident.
That's right.
Yeah. A degenerate.
Our trailer was stolen.
Yeah. By a degenerate.
And you.
Degens steal things.
Let me read a couple notes to you guys in case you're in the Michigan area and you want to help us try and find our trailer.
Yeah, or if you are browsing Craigslist or Facebook,
that's right,
and you see anything pop up,
so
that sounds like this.
A couple notes, okay. I'm sure the license plate has been removed by now, but if for some reason, don't put anything past a stupid degen that would steal things.
Yeah.
The plate is D404785. D is in dog. 404785. The passenger brake light is burned out. It has a brand new set of Goodyear tires and a brand new spare, which is white. The rest of the wheels are silver. And it has overspray on the front reflective stickers. This is a car trailer. It's a black trailer with wood where the car would actually sit, and it's missing both ramps.
I suspect that if the thieves were at least somewhat intelligent,
they're spray thieves.
Oh.
Go ahead. Sorry,
I would just think that you'd at least take off the stickers, because there were a lot of reflective stickers on it. You remove the stickers, you probably keep the tires because you recognize how valuable they are. Yeah, maybe you spray paint the wheels. Maybe. So it might, could have different wheels, and possibly replace the wood. Mostly just because there had been brake rotors left on the trailer for.
That's true,
and there are
rust impressions of brake rotors. Yeah, that'd be a.
So I could even see them replacing the wood because the wood wasn't brand new.
See, I don't understand what you do with a trailer when you steal it, because I understand when you steal a car, you can rip it apart, sell parts. Sure. But what do you do when you steal a trailer?
I suspect one of two things. One, they use it.
That's what I was thinking. You steal it and just use it.
Yeah. So I could mostly see using it, and then I could see parking it for a few weeks and then putting it up on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. So I have set alerts on both Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist for car hauler, car trailer, and just trailer. Less than $3,000.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've been on there every day scouring also.
Chris doing also Lord's work being on Craigslist and Facebook.
No, literally though. Okay. I mean,
that's not out of the norm.
Well, the trailer's hot right now because the Topher shared it, Tedward shared it, and I shared it, which means it went out to 80,000 people on Instagram. So.
Yeah. Part of me almost wonders if we shouldn't share it right away because I might not, but whatever. There's a better chance of it being. See, I was doing my fuel economy test in my Cadillac yesterday, and it's some degenerate in a Ram ripped behind me doing 85.
With a car trailer.
The car trailer looked very similar. Yeah. And I was like, oh. Yeah. Text messages from Alicia. Some more work for her today. Who? Alyssa?
Alyssa. You said Alicia.
Just playing around.
Doing more work.
I said, yeah, because as a real estate appraiser, she has to get photos of the comparable home sales that she's using in a report. So she's doing a report in Livonia.
She pays you?
She pays me in love, affection, and food, and good, wiferness. So yeah. Plus, it honestly works out decently well because it, for example, I went and got some photos for her yesterday, and it gave me more time to drive the test vehicle. So
right. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Not that I really want more time to drive the Cadillac.
That's the excuse I would give myself for when I wanted to go run at Rolling Hills. I'm like, well, give me an excuse to spend more time in the cars.
Which is important.
Which is true.
Some people don't really drive them. They just try to give you impressions. And I
remember Matt from Downships was he's like, yeah, sometimes I have weeks and the car will just sit. I just don't really know where to go. I'm like, yeah, I look for any excuse to drive the cars and just get more seat time, and it makes me active also because I go and run, which I'm going to try and start. Well, no, because I hate the cold. So I'm going to try and start that back up in next month.
All right, well, follow up with us in a month.
Hold me to it.
To see if
will you bully me if I don't?
Of course.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I have kickstarted my exercising.
Really?
Yes.
I thought you wanted to gain weight.
Well, I do, but it's just never going to happen until grandfather.
Okay.
But I am doing. This is typically what I do to do something. I do the 1 to 100 push-up challenge. So first day you do 1, second day you do 2, third day you do 3, all the way up to day 100. You're doing 100. You're doing push-ups, sit-ups, and squats. So I'm on day 9 right now.
Okay.
So 9 push-ups, 9 sit-ups, 9 squats. Yeah, it's nice because it builds the habit. Because it's obviously not really difficult until you get to 25.
Yeah.
But by that time you've done it for 3 to almost 4 weeks of every day you're doing this activity. You're at least mentally saying, I have to do this activity.
Right. When do you do it before bed?
Whenever, throughout the day. I just have a reminder sitting up on my phone to do the push-ups. And then I get them done. That is
elk?
Is it an elk? It must be an elk. Or it's a reindeer. That could be a reindeer. I think that's too small to be an elk. It's a reindeer. I was going to say, though, you actually, I do think you do a really good job at driving the test cars because you're often going from your parents to Emily's, from Emily's to your parents, you're coming to the garage, you're going to ship things, you're going out to lunch. You do a lot of these little trips, which means you're experiencing the car in the night, in the day, in the rain. Even when you don't want to go out and drive, you're experiencing it. And that makes you pick up on little things like beeps and chimes or Starbucks placement or
materials.
Yeah, all those sort of things. So those are the benefits of manufacturers giving us a car for a week to spend time with. Those are the type of benefits you see. Right. And that's why I like that we shoot initial impressions and then after a week impressions because they can change drastically, both positively and negatively.
Right.
The G80 that we had recently, I didn't care for it much initially, but it was so nice to just spend time with after a week that I liked it.
Even though the steering was too heavy?
Yeah, even though the steering was, which we reported to Genesis.
We did tell Genesis. So, if the next generation of Genesis cars have pinky light steering, you're welcome.
Literally us.
Yeah.
Literally drunk Charlie being like, hey, Genesis, you gotta make this steering lighter.
We're sitting at this Red Wings game yesterday, and Charlie had already had a couple of beverages, and this girl comes and sits down next to us, who is also a journalist, and she's asking about us, and she's like, oh, what do you guys do?
She's the one who asked.
Charlie goes, well, Chris considers himself more of a YouTuber. I consider myself more of a journalist. So together, we are uterists.
I thought she'd find that.
And she just looked at Charlie okay.
And she left.
And she got up and left. Which I turned away. I was I'm not involved in this discussion. Charlie gets very confident after he's had a couple drinks.
Well, here's the thing. Two things. One, this person is an NPC. You can say whatever you want to him. It's inconsequential.
Okay.
Second of all, that's what I like about being married is single Charlie would feel like he has to
impress her.
Or at least, be present, have a normal, so in case it comes again. Married Charlie, I don't care at all. I just say whatever I want. Within reason. It still wasn't mean, it wasn't offensive, it was just borderline of
her being weirded out, which she was.
Put it this way, I would rather, we only have limited time on this earth, and any of it that can't be spent driving, which I'd rather be doing, and has to be spent interacting with humans, I would like that time to be spent with humans that I enjoy being around. And someone who doesn't get the humor of a uterist, I don't want them in my life at all.
Fair enough.
No,
Heard it here first, folks.
Mm-hmm. If you're listening, young woman who works in the business side of the auto industry and was at the Red Wings game last night, don't take it personally.
And that's Daily Motor.
Daily Motor. Don't take it personally.
That really should be.
Yeah. We spent a good amount of time in the Cadillac CT4 Premium Luxury with the 2.7 liter. Why doesn't
Answer Bruce?
I have a question. Cadillac is doing this thing now where they put the torque of the engine in Newton meters on the back of the car. For any of you who aren't familiar, you'll see a new Cadillac model, whether it be an Escalade or a sedan of some sort, which I don't think they do this for the V cars.
They don't.
Okay.
You just get a V badge, unless you get the black wing.
In which you get a different.
It's still a V badge. It's slightly different, though.
But for the pedestrian cars, it has a number and then typically a T, or if it's the diesel, I think it's D, even though it's still turbo.
And if it's the naturally aspirated, it has nothing.
It's just the number. Do they make any naturally aspirated?
The Escalade.
So it's just 600.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I wonder if the diesel is a D or a T.
Probably a T because it's a turbo diesel.
And they also make a V Escalade now. So is that the V badge?
Just get a V badge.
Okay. So anyway, it has this number. If Cadillac is truly confident in that strategy, why isn't it part of the modeling? Why is this not a Cadillac CT4 Premium Luxury 500T?
I don't understand any of the badging or naming or trim levels of Cadillacs anymore past, I think, 2019. Whenever
when
they
Blackstone started?
when they went from CTS to CT5,
Oh, sure.
because they switched all
Yeah,
that,
because it was ATS.
and then
CTS.
they started
XTS.
making V cars that weren't actually V cars.
Well, it was a little confusing even before that, though, because they had from smallest to largest ATS, CTS, XTS. Actually, wait, no, sorry. CT6 was slightly smaller than XTS.
No,
I
the
believe.
XTS was like a Malibu. It was
It's like an
with a
Impala.
drive. Oh, it's an Impala. You're right. The CT6 was larger.
How are you larger than an Impala?
The CT6 was the flagship.
I think you're right, but
The XTS could have been like wider or something, but the CT6 had to have been a longer car.
let's see.
Had to have been, maybe not.
CT6 versus XTS.
Did they even make those alongside each other?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Ooh, dimensions. Thank you, Google. You are correct. The CT6 was 206 inches long. The XTS was 201.
Okay, yeah, pretty
The
good.
XTX is 1 inch taller. If you ever see them on the road, they're
They
very
do
tall.
look, well, yeah, that's probably wider too.
No, the CT6 was 1 inch wider.
Okay.
The XTS was definitely an older type of car because it was the. You're right.
Did you ever get one of those?
I think I did. It's very nice. They're floaty.
I was gonna say it's probably like a proper Cadillac.
Yeah, you could get all-wheel or front-wheel drive, 6-speed automatic, and it only came with, well, in 2019 at least, it came with a 3.6 V6, whereas the CT6 you could get with a 3.6 or the 4.2 V8.
That was only that was the CT6V,
Sure.
which they only made 500 of, I think. I've like never seen one in person.
Yeah.
Very limited amounts.
Yeah. I
Tom
drove
get
one.
Tom, Chris's buddy.
That's a very
And he could not
sort of
get on
car.
application.
Yeah.
Or he could, and they just wanted like 50 grand over sticker or something stupid.
A low. Oh yeah, the CT6 was much nicer inside. You look at those two photos. This is 2016.
Yeah,
models, I believe.
wasn't the CT6 like the Super Cruise flagship?
Yes, it was the one that started Super Cruise, and also it had the Bose Panerai, like 36 speaker sound system.
Was it any good?
I never listened to it, but I heard it was definitely not as good as it should have been for me.
Well, as we know, quantity does not
No.
always equal quality.
No, not at all. I think an XTS, like a late model XTS, would be an awesome used car pickup. It's the same philosophy of like why I like the Sabres or whatever, but think about like Emily, for example. She could find an all-wheel drive Cadillac XTS for probably like dummy cheap.
Like 15 grand.
Yeah, that's been like off lease from some old individual who did all the service and everything like that at the Cadillac dealer, paid sticker for it or whatever, or leased it or whatnot, and is in like mint condition. And anything that goes wrong in that car will be an AC Delco part. It's like right next door.
Yeah.
You can pick it up for
Easy to
$20. Yeah, nothing will cost you more than $100 on that car.
Yeah.
Motor would be $100. It's just a 3.6 pull it up. So,
Take it out of some Traverse that ran a red light and T-bone somebody.
speaking of that, I don't know what way you came in today, but
There's a crash up
Yeah, it was a crash.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't look too bad, but there was debris all over the section where we're going to have to pull out for the wrap-ups.
Yeah.
You and I should go out there with a shovel and a broom and just stare over there. Because you know no one else is going to clean it up.
No.
Because every time there's an accident there, it never gets cleaned up.
We had that floor mat sat out there for months.
Yes. Why was there a floor mat? Because generally when you crash, things don't exit the vehicle, especially floor mats that are on the floor. It's almost like it was maybe in the bed of a truck and it flew out.
I think that'd be difficult. I think someone just decided, I don't want this floor mat anymore.
Or they could have been maybe like, there was like some fluid spill and they tried sopping it up with floor mat.
Floor mat.
People are weird, man.
So anyway, back to the CT4. It's rocking the 2.7 liter 4-cylinder.
Which is the engine you get in the V. But the V
This
isn't the
one's-
Blackwing, because if you get the Blackwing, then you get the 3.6
Yeah.
V6.
Which is excellent.
But then the V gets the 2.7, and the
Which
base
is also
car,
still good.
The base car gets the 2 liter unless you opt for the 2.7, and I think that's good. Let me tell you why. Because if you get the CT4 Premium Luxury with the 2.7, with the 2.7, it only makes 15 horsepower less than the V. So you pretty much have the performance of the V. And you don't have to explain to people that you have a CT4 V, but it's not actually a full V because it's not a Blackwing.
Yeah.
So you can go to parties and say, yes, I drive a Cadillac CT4, the end.
Yes.
And you don't have to say, oh, I drive a CT4V. Oh, man, I've seen that car. Is it the 6-speed? Well, no. No, because it's not a Blackwing, it's a V. Oh, what?
But I thought the V was the high
I
performance.
thought the V was hybrid, and then it's just.
And then you
get
have
the
to
premium
kill yourself.
luxury with the 2.7. I drive a CT4. The end. That's it, and it's a very nice shade of blue.
Well, and it's also the end of the conversation because no one wants to talk
No
to
one
you
cares
if you
about
say
the
that
car.
You drove a CT.
Yeah, if you don't have a V.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, and like you said, it's not a big horsepower drop. Admittedly, the V sounded better. It had a different exhaust.
Yeah.
It was kind of sporty and everything. And
I don't remember it
suspension
sounding
and
great
stuff.
though.
I remember it being fun. Well, unless
It was a little tail happy.
I'm thinking of 5V. What did we shoot the car port on?
It's a 4B.
Okay. And that, I thought well, whatever we shot the car cord on had the envelope around.
Yes.
Does this car have that?
Yes.
I guess it's the pretty color that it has. I don't notice it as much when it's on
Mhm.
white.
Yeah. Well, generally envelopes are white.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
This color is beautiful. It's a new color for the
Blue
CT4.
Or magnetic steel, they call it. Or
No, it's more. Yeah, it's more of a green color. Chris,
stand by.
Chris is a color name enthusiast, a paint name. He was describing a BMW yesterday and told me the color of the green, the name, and I said, "Is that the green?"
San Remo or something?
Yeah, and
I don't know any of the new BMW color names. All right, let's see.
But the paint does look really nice, and it's very proper Cadillac sedan specs. Kind of light wheels, chrome, light blue. Alyssa thinks it's beautiful.
Midnight steel.
See, that car doesn't. You say steel to me?
Anything gray?
Yeah,
This is
steel
blue.
isn't
It's
blue. This is nearly a sky blue color.
Yeah, it's very pretty, and it's got silver wheels. It looks great.
Yeah.
And overall, I was very worried, and as utilists, we tend to worry that when cars show up, they're going to have a black appearance pack because every muscle car ever has a black appearance pack.
Yeah.
And this car showed up and it didn't, and it's got silver wheels, and it contrasts really nice with the midnight steel paint.
Mhm.
So,
No car that isn't particularly sporty or made for teenagers should have a black appearance pack.
yes, I agree. Well, everything is just. Well, you heard the Genesis PR guy last night. He's like, every journalist just
Wants it to be
wants
sporty.
cars to be sporty, which
Yeah.
they shouldn't be.
No, they really shouldn't,
That's why we're in a recession.
because people think they want sporty cars.
I don't know. I just
You had the key to the next 5 years of our economy right there.
no.
If we just remove black accent packages from all the cars on the new market, then we'll save the economy.
Potentially.
Right? It's worth a shot.
Yeah, we could try. I mean, we could try.
The world would still be a better place.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this motor in other things. I think I've decided I don't like it in this car.
I think it sounds like Emily's Jeep.
Yeah, which isn't a good thing. That's a Compass
Mm.
with the bad motor.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Tiger Shark.
It is okay when you're just... last night I said to you it's okay when you're just easy on it. But I drove in this morning when I was driving nice and easy, and it's just making so much sound all the time. A luxury car motor shouldn't make sound.
It's very grainy.
Yeah. It doesn't.
Charlie, it's not a luxury car. It's a sports sedan.
It isn't, though. It's a luxury sports sedan. And you drive something like the 3 Series, that
It's so quiet.
inline
Also, when it's an
four,
EV.
yeah, is if you drive that in eco mode, you barely even notice. You don't hear it. You don't feel it. It's like it doesn't have an engine. It's like it's an
Yeah.
EV. This Cadillac is 0%.
Yeah. It's
Thank you.
Yeah.
I also found a weird phenomenon, very GM-like. I was shooting the winding road video, and I started in drive, but then paddle shifted. So typically a car, if it's set up properly, if you use the paddle shifters while in D, it'll shift for you. If you put it into manual mode manually, then it'll hold gears. Not the case with the Cadillac. It held gears even in D mode. So I hit the rev limiter, which comes on very soon. It comes on at
6,000
RPM. Not very high. And I was like, oh, okay. Went to shift. There was a good 2.5 seconds before it actually shifted gear.
So it just
And that happened more than once. It just... And it was gross. Actually,
Yeah, I love
I
it.
can't wait to look at the winding road footage and see how, because it did it 2 times. So, because again, you hit the rev limiter, so
people are going to comment, dude, what on earth is
Yeah.
that?
that's why I like the winding road videos, when the cars speak for themselves.
Yeah. Right.
But if you shift it on your own, it shifts very quickly because the GM10 speed's quite good. The interior doesn't actually bother me in that car as much as I thought it would.
No, it doesn't for me either, but the cluster does buzz.
Fortunately, I haven't noticed that, but I also haven't driven it at night. The only time I was in it at night, I was inebriated.
It's true. You're
Yeah,
you're not an enthusiast of doing night drives anymore.
No. Okay, because I have
You're gonna have to edit some night drives soon from all your LA videos, unless Ben's editing those.
No, I'm gonna do them on the plane. Yeah, I'm worried that mine are gonna look like poop compared to yours. You have a Hero 11, right?
And a night drive setting also that Chris set up for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I hadn't shot night drives in over a year, so I don't know. I kind of just tossed some settings on my camera.
Did you do 30 frames a second or 60? 30 frames a second gives you higher ISO, so
Yeah.
it pops a little more.
Mhm.
You should see
Longer exposure.
That's what I do for all my night drives. 4K, 30 frames a second.
Mm-hmm.
And then some other settings in that Chris told me to do.
Yeah, you're gonna have to start shooting all your daily motors 4K too. There's fewer and fewer reasons not to. You have all the storage. You have a powerful computer. You have a Hero 11.
It just doesn't look any different to me, but if that's what you would like me to do, then I will do it for you.
Okay.
And I will make a third. Actually, I already have the third. I have a daily motor setting already. I just don't use it. The only reason that I don't like to use it is because it just takes longer because it's more memory
Mm-hmm.
for footage that looks exactly the same as 2.7K.
It doesn't look exactly the same. There's subtle differences. Plus, part of it's just a clout thing.
Charlie, you've told me. Hold on. You've told me that everyone that watches our videos does so on their phone on the toilet.
In 480p.
In 480p.
Yes.
Why then can I not record the video in 2.7K, export it in 4K, and upload it in 4K?
Because it doesn't look as good.
But you just said that it doesn't matter and it's for the clout. If you have the setting, you can still click it into 4K.
No, because I'm an honest person and I don't want to try to deceive the viewers. It just should be.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. I agree with you, but it's just a principle thing. It should be done properly. You have to have integrity. That's for all, or else for nothing. It might as well just be vehicle versions.
On that note, we should hire a production team and really up our production.
Well, that's the thing is switching to 4K. Like it doesn't require anything more other than it uses a bit more battery and memory.
And takes extra time because it's more.
A little bit longer transfer time.
Longer transfer time and also
upload time for you.
Longer upload time. Well,
because
probably not, because if I export in 4K...
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So
it probably wouldn't be...
No, it'd be the same.
Yeah, it'd be the same upload time, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It would just be... It just takes up more... It's more clips on the GoPro.
Yes. But now with the 11, since the clips are consolidated more, it won't be as many. Like
it'll be 2 clips instead of 1. 1 is great. You drag the one in and that's it. It's awesome.
So Cadillac CT4, not good car for me. It's fine. Fine car.
Yeah, fine car.
That's not a good car. The sound system isn't too bad. Bose is fairly decent.
That's the first thing that I told you after driving that car initially is that the sound system's a lot better than I thought it would be.
Right. We just got to consider the other things in that class, and actually we're driving the new Mercedes C300 this week, which will be really good for you. Yeah. But
you might on Sunday or something.
Yeah, maybe. No, I doubt it. But maybe Monday morning. Maybe I'll take it for a quick spin Monday.
Oh yeah, take it.
Yeah, we do that. But so it'll be cool for you to get directly out of the CT4 and then into the C300 to kind of compare because they're similar class and everything. And you spend a ton of time in the 3 Series and the IS and the G70.
Not a ton of time in the G70. Okay. A day, 2 days maybe.
You haven't really driven the accurate TLX, right?
I've driven the TLX Type S. Only briefly, like around the block.
Yeah. So the CT4 I think is very similar to the Equinox in this way of like in isolation, you're like, oh, not so bad. But then when you think of all the other cars in the class, you're like, oh, I'd have an IS, I'd have a 3 Series, I'd have a
G70,
I'd have a G70,
I'd have a TLX,
yeah.
What would you pick it over?
Not an A4. I'd have the A4 as well.
Don't know if I'd have the A4 because I haven't driven it.
No, Lincoln doesn't make sedans anymore. I was gonna say the MKZ.
Would that have even compared? I don't think that would. The MKZ was just a Fusion.
Yeah. I mean, it was Lincoln's offering in that class.
A lot of people bought MKZs.
My grandmother has one. It actually is a nice car.
Everybody's grandparent has had an MKZ at one point. That's just how it is.
She also had a Zephyr at one.
Oh, that was pre-MKZ.
Mm-hmm. They had a Zephyr, an MKZ, and then went to Tauruses, and now she has another MKZ.
I never understood that because the MKZ was called the Zephyr, but didn't they also sell the Zephyr alongside the MKZ because the MKZ was like all-wheel drive or something? No, so the MKZ replaced the Zephyr.
Same car, different thing.
Okay,
It was when Lincoln decided to go to the alphanumerics.
I see.
Right. Which is funny because now they're going back away from that because they realized old people don't understand.
Navigator, Corsair,
Nautilus.
And
That's
it.
Yeah.
They don't make anything else. Lincoln is all SUVs now, which is sad.
And the thing is they could be better.
Isn't the Nautilus dreadful?
Yeah, Nautilus is really bad. That's probably one of the worst cars on the market right now. Is the Nautilus. Just because
it's so outdated.
It's so outdated, and it's the only Lincoln that is still so heavily based on the Ford product. Even the Corsair, yes, it's an Escape, but it doesn't feel like an Escape.
I've driven the Corsair, yeah.
Yeah, it's very different. The Nautilus, I mean, it's the same dash layout. It's the same infotainment, just skinned differently. I mean, it's really bad.
Yeah. I think my favorite. I haven't driven the Aviator, but
quite good.
Yeah, but I really quite like the Navigator.
Yeah. I think Lincoln needs to do a better job advertising these cars.
Yeah.
Because you look at a brand like Genesis,
Lincoln
they're just pushing and they're making a wreck for themselves.
Lincoln's advertising is just strange.
Yeah, they just have Matthew McConaughey and some music, and then it's
also like even beyond the weird Matthew McConaughey commercials, it's just like the way that they go about like trim levels with their cars. It's all just very strange.
Yeah,
it's like they're trying so hard to be different. Like they're always trying so hard to be like, we're not a Ford, but like I feel like people don't really care. Like just
I don't even think Alyssa knew that Lincoln and Ford were the same brand until I was like, drilled it into her sort of thing.
So I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
And they have things like actually pretty decent plug-in hybrids on two of their large SUVs, and they Lincoln,
the Corsair and the Aviator.
Yeah. They don't have one in the Nav, do they? Don't they have a Navigator Grand Touring that's a plug-in hybrid as well?
No, because Ford doesn't make an Expedition plug-in or an F-150, but Ford doesn't make any PHEVs.
Exactly.
Escape.
Lincoln does, though.
There's no PHEV Navigator.
I think you're right. There's
no way. But there's an Aviator and a Corsair, though, for sure. Because remember, Lincoln was like, we've got this huge announcement for the Detroit Auto Show, and then it was just a plug-in Corsair, and we were like, oh, okay.
You're right. It's just the Aviator Grand Touring. But yeah, I mean, they have this plug-in hybrid SUV that's got a lot of power and drives really well and everything like that. It's like no one knows or cares.
Can we get one of those?
You can probably try. You probably had one, but we should try.
I've never driven an Aviator.
Okay. All right. Yeah. If I don't book in the next few months, I might again.
Okay.
But one of those. We should get a Corsair too. I mean, they are a good product. Like Lincoln, if you give us more Lincolns, then you'll sell more.
Besides the Nautilus.
Yeah. Don't give us a Nautilus. Don't even offer.
Give us a Corsair, an Aviator, and a Navigator. Yeah, I would like to drive another Navigator too.
And it's important, and maybe there's one person listening here who owns a Nautilus and says, "Oh, I think it's good." First of all, you're wrong. Second of all, it's good for us to be negative about certain cars like that, even though it sounds humorous. But it's because it adds validity to them when we do say a car is good. Like if I can say to you, these three Lincolns are pretty good and this one's garbage, then at least we're coming from a place of honesty. Whereas if I said these three Lincolns are great and this one's okay, then it takes away from the greatness of the other.
Do you remember 2 years ago at Mama, they had a Nautilus there?
Yeah.
And it sat there all day. Mm-hmm. I don't think anybody drove it. I legitimately think it sat all day and a single person even looked at it. And I walked over there by Lincoln and I was with Charlie. And I said a little bit too loudly, this thing hasn't moved all day. And one of the Lincoln PR people heard me and he was like, yes, it has. People have been driving this thing around all day. And I was like, oh, okay. No, they haven't, but... So sorry if you're that Lincoln PR person.
Yeah.
But we don't like the Nautilus.
I don't think anyone does. I wonder what it's like if it's car driver review. For example, right here, you just look up Lincoln Aviator, Grand Touring, and...
People probably quite like the Aviator, don't they?
Yeah. Car drivers got 7.5 out of 10, and then 7.8 out of 10.
Will they give you a wood steering wheel on that?
On the Nautilus?
No.
Aviator?
Yes.
I don't know.
We need more wood steering wheels.
Lincoln Nautilus.
This is where you all should be paying attention to Infinity.
Edmunds and US News are off their rockers, 8.4 out of 10 and 4 out of 5. But car drivers
for what?
For the Nautilus.
Oh wow!
But car drivers properly 5.5 out of 10.
There you go.
What does U.S. News and Reports have to say? 4 out of 21 in luxury midsize SUVs. That's so wrong.
What do they rank it over?
Well, we'll get there. The 2023 Lincoln Nautilus is an upscale SUV that's all about comfort. It also offers an impressive amount of storage space for passengers and cargo and boasts a user-friendly infotainment system. It isn't the most athletic SUV on the market, but it's a well-rounded option. Pros: upscale interior? No. Comfortable seats? Debatable. Large cargo hold? I mean, I guess that's what you're really looking for in a luxury SUV. Intuitive infotainment system, which is a way to say simple and outdated.
For old people.
Cons: somewhat dull handling.
That's okay, though.
Yeah, that would actually be a good thing for
Yeah.
a Lincoln.
Who writes these? Because they're wrong.
Yeah. Sorry, U.S. News and Reports. Okay, let's see what else in luxury midsize SUVs. Number 1, Chris's favorite car, the 2022 Mercedes-Benz GLE class. Second,
They ranked the GLE number 1? Okay, so immediately you know that the rest of the list is wrong.
X5 is number 2 though, so they're close to that.
They ranked the GLE over the X5? Oh my
by
goodness.
0.1 point, yeah.
Oh my god.
Then you have the Porsche Cayenne, tied for second, also wrong. Then you have the GV80, which, yeah, that should be
GV8 is great, yeah.
Then you have the Aviator. These are all tied.
The Aviator?
It has the Aviator and the Nautilus tied. That's disgusting. And then the Q7, which should be so much higher.
Yeah,
The Range Rover Sport, not sure. Q8, okay, fair, 9th. XC90, 9th. I think it should be a little higher, but
XC90 is lower than the Nautilus?
I get why some people don't like the XC90 because it's not as...
Charlie,
It's a 2-liter turbo and everything. I get that. I know, they're wrong. Don't give me... Yeah, I'm very much with you.
these people should not be employed.
And then the MDX is very low, and the QX60 is 13th. That's
These, okay, everything you're ranked, every single car you listed is better than the Lincoln Nautilus and the Mercedes GLE.
Yeah, RX, the new Lexus RX is 15th.
Why?
And the Defender, yeah, this is horribly wrong. Now they're starting to make sense. XT5 and XT6 are down near the bottom. Levante, GX 21st, fair enough. The Nautilus should be 22nd. So you should make a new number and it should...
It's because it's old people that are writing these lists.
You might be right. When Gene Butman Ford ever gets a Nautilus, we've got to go. I don't think so. I've driven through there recently.
You never know, Charlie.
You're right. I never know. They could have just got one in on trade. You're right.
While the power was out, someone could have come and traded in there.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people are without power. Our hearts go out to you. You're listening to this.
There are no
without power.
There are not any Lincolns, but we're still going to look.
We'll just keep an eye on the obituaries throughout the week, and then the next week from that, there should be a link.
Charlie, there is a 2012 Ford Het. That's basically the same thing.
Yeah, you're right.
So we could go.
That's the same.
We could go Top Gear style. It'd be like
act like it's
this.
Nautilus.
Yeah, you know, like when Jeremy is supposed to go.
Is the 2023 Lincoln Nautilus.
We could do the whole review. Yeah, that would be funny. Lincoln would never give us another car.
Oh wow, that would be really good.
GMC Acadia.
That would do well on Warning Road. It also might break down on you while you're sick.
20 miles. Probably a lot because
I'd be surprised if it made it more than 150,000.
It's a 2014 Acadia for $15,000, and it's finished in champagne silver with dark cashmere interior. They're asking $14,995. It's done at 99,000 miles.
Yeah,
So,
I don't think those can do more than 100.
Sorry, it's done 99,361 miles. So in precisely
50
math,
50,000.
No.
What do
You say it's going to blow up at 100,000.
Oh, you think it's gonna blow up at 100?
So if you buy this car, you've got 659 miles.
Okay.
No, that's wrong. 639 miles. God, I just don't do math anymore because
we don't.
we just use a calculator. I
Yeah.
always said that to my teachers in school. I said,
You won't have a calculator in your pocket, June.
I said, I don't need to know how to do this. I simply will not.
Yeah.
And I was right. I don't need to do any of the things that I was taught in math.
All right, can we move on from General Motors and Lincolns now?
Yeah, I'm just going to continue to see if there's anything interesting. But
The other car we had this week is the 2023 Ford Maverick Tremor. This is an example of a car that Chris wants me to say Larry. This is an example of a car that I thought was going to be a bit silly, and I actually really like it.
They both
Chris
like
really
it.
likes it as well.
Yes, because the ride is sublime.
Really good. There's a term that we try to avoid here at Daily when we're getting too esoteric with our terms, especially because we get yelled at in the comments if we say things like Monroney and premium and stuff. But there's when speaking of how a car rides, there's secondary ride. So it's kind of like primary ride is that initial when you feel the first bump that you run over, and then secondary ride is after the car kind of floats a bit, what happens?
Rebound or whatever.
Yeah, and compression and all these shock turns. Well, the Maverick Tremor has a really good both primary but more so secondary ride comfort. So you hit a big bump and the truck kind of gives you one big whoosh in suspension and then it smooths it right out.
Potentially the smoothest car we've ever taken over the 45-mile-an-hour bridge. We should name that bridge. Bump bridge.
Or like, oh!
Well, you want to oh! Well, you like to do that and give you an excuse to...
Yeah, you'd appreciate that. Somebody commented on the Mercedes video that I have moaned much more than you have.
See? Thank you, whoever that was.
I think it was Mukasa or something. Mukasa.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for recognizing that Charlie moans much more than I do.
Maybe that just means I'm enjoying life more.
I'm happy to know that they are still trying to sell this CT4 Black thing for $66,000, which I think is more than a new one.
We should just have it.
No. Oh, Charlie.
Yes.
2008 Taurus SEL.
I don't know why you think I like those.
Why?
I don't know.
Fords from this era.
Not really.
You told me on multiple occasions that they are nostalgic.
That's too new.
This would be nostalgic for Nathan.
Yeah.
Nathan, we miss you.
Yeah, that's why Nathan has, like, perfect example. He's more of a second gen focus fan, more of a first gen.
2002 Honda Accord. That would get 1 million views on Lightning Road.
Oh, yeah. Also, that'd be a great... What are they asking for?
Call for price.
Is it beige? Or is it a stock photo?
It's silver.
Okay.
The stock photo is silver, but it says that it's silver.
Okay. Yeah.
4-speed automatic with overdrive.
That would be one of those cars that if you just needed an car, so that's your best bet right there. Early 2000s Accord. I just never liked the rear end of those. Very flawless. But anyway, can we get to the Maverick Tremor?
Someone made me an offer for GoPro. That was not good. Anyways, okay, sorry. Maverick Tremor.
Yeah. The Lariat stuff is nice about it. You got your heated seats, you got a heated steering wheel. Interestingly, a dedicated heated mirrors button that always likes to come on. It's
yeah, I've been leaving that on.
Yeah.
Just because I couldn't be bothered to shut it off.
Chris is the wasting fuel enthusiast. It has a powered rear window.
Yeah, because I'm sure that wastes so much fuel having the heated mirrors on.
Probably more than not having it on. Well, power rear window, that's nice to have. It opens and closes really quickly. But it's just a really nice car to drive. It just is.
And the B&O is pretty decent.
B&O.
It's not great, but it's like a B. I would give it a B. Charlie gave it a C when we tested it, but
briefly, yeah.
It was only a brief test, so.
I was given the explanation by a gentleman named Jonathan at Harman about the difference between Bang & Olufsen and B&O Play.
Oh, B&O Play is what the Fords have.
Yes, and here is the difference. This is what I thought happened. Ford came to Bang & Olufsen and said, we would like to use your sound systems in our cars. And then Bang & Olufsen said, no, your cars are too crappy, so we'll make a separate sub-brand.
It's a sub-brand.
That is not how it happened, but it's also not wildly inaccurate.
Okay.
Bang & Olufsen is a Danish brand, if I'm not mistaken. Also has a presence in the UK.
Okay.
They already had a sub-brand called B&O Play. And here's how it worked. Bang & Olufsen was for their high-end home audio sort of things, big, expensive speakers, that sort of deal. B&O Play was their line of things like headphones, Bluetooth speakers, etc. So when Ford came to them and said, we want to use your systems, they said, you're getting B&O Play. Like, you're not paying for the full Bang & Olufsen like you did in Audi or something like that. Also, I think Audi had an exclusive partnership with them at that point. So they said, the best we can do is B&O. And so that's what the difference is. However, after a little while there, Ford wanted to drop the Play aspect because I understand it sounds kind of juvenile. So that's why you just see kind of B&O. But then there's a lot of people who, like probably yourself and many others, who when you first see that, you just kind of lump it in. A lot of journalists do this, actually. They just write, it's a Bang & Olufsen audio system. Well, it isn't. Simply isn't. That would be like saying a Ford is a Lincoln.
But everything's just Harman anyways.
Yeah, but they still have quite a bit of difference. In fact, I learned that. I never shared this with you, and you quite like this. I had lunch with this guy,
Harman man.
Jonathan Harden, and I said, "Why are the Volvo systems so good? Why are they the best?"
But they're not Harman, are they?
They're
Interesting.
Harman licenses them.
But
Yes, but Bowers and Wilkins is the only one of all of their brands that are part of that still insists on doing a final checkoff for the tuning of the systems by their own man. So they fly a person to do it. And I learned this. There is a gentleman who works for Volvo and maybe Harman, I'm forgetting now, but I think it's Volvo specifically.
Okay.
Who tunes all of the Bowers and Wilkins systems, and this Jonathan guy said that he is quite possibly the best in the whole industry.
Well, yeah.
Like they said he can get into a system and like just immediately, like instinctively, like tune, and it's excellent. And he's been at Volvo for many years and been at Bowers and Wilkins now and everything. So like this man is the reason why the Volvos all sound so good. So I can't remember what your name is, but apparently he's a really humble dude who like doesn't like praise and everything.
Okay.
And he just comes in and he's like, yes, this is what it is. He's like a Swedish dude, and he just makes these brilliant sound systems, and that is why. So we're not crazy in saying that Volvos are really the best because they even though Harman will do the tuning, Bowers and Wilkins has to have final checkoff, and then it's this one man who's like so good at it.
So what isn't? I thought Bowers and Wilkins wasn't owned by Harman.
Just recently, they've been licensed,
Licensed.
not fully owned, but essentially what it means is Harman can like do the negotiating and the brand and tune it and everything.
So then,
but they still have to get a final checkoff by the separate company that's over in somewhere.
So what now isn't owned by Harman? Bose,
Burmester, Bose,
Sonus Faber.
Faber, Krell, I believe. Which we don't really have in any cars here, I think.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah. Maybe Rockford Fosgate, but I don't think so. I mean, it's most
Big umbrella.
Yeah, but I did learn that all of these different Harman brands, like they are done by different, like they're done individually in the same.
All just kind of.
Yeah, but they'll all get similar resources and stuff.
I see.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a fascinating conversation we had about just how many different, like, you know, why is this system this way and how does this get done and stuff. So I'm sure I'll be dropping little nuggets here and there throughout the next few months of just like, oh, like I learned such and such. Yeah. But I knew during that lunch I knew you'd appreciate the whole Volvo thing. Because I was like, these are the best. Yeah. He told me that Burmester just got into car audio like 20 years ago or 15 years ago or whatever, and they weren't that good at first, but then Mercedes was like, step shit up.
Yeah,
and now
they're only in. Well, no, they're in Porsche as well.
Yes,
Porsche and Mercedes,
Mm-hmm.
and is that it?
I think that's it. No.
I was gonna say McLaren, but that's.
Yeah, Bowers and Wilkins is only in BMW. No, they have to be real high end. So we got this B&O Play system in Mav Trem, and it's decent. So the Tremor
Very
package.
base heavy.
Yes, the Tremor package costs. Sorry, I'm getting distracted again. Sound system. You said base heavy. Shit, I can't remember if this was an on the record thing or off the record thing. I'll speak a bit vaguely, and I'm sure you'll be able to pick up on it. There's certain brand of vehicles whose base in their cars is always turned way high for their clientele.
Okay.
And they've just always, you get in it, and even if flat EQ is like just all subwoofer.
Yeah, I know what brand you're talking about.
Yeah, and apparently, the certain owner of many sound system brands came to them and were like, "Hey, this doesn't sound very good." And they said, "We don't care. We want it like this.
We want it like this, and we want to also put 37 speakers in the car. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. But anyway, yes, the Tremor package costs about $4,000 on top of Maverick. And when I first saw that, I said, all right, you're getting a 1-inch lift, you're getting some metal bits, you're getting some tires, and you're getting some stickers.
And upholstery, different upholstery.
Right, but then you're losing the ability to have a 4K tow package. So why would anybody pay all that money? And you just get the FX4 Maverick
to look cool.
Yeah. But after driving it, I do think with the tuning of the shocks, the appearance, the way it drives and everything, and as we'll find out tomorrow, how well it does off-road, I do think that it's worth the money. And Chris and I have been pleasantly satisfied with the Tremor packages in most Fords that we've driven.
Yeah, the F-150 was nice.
Yeah, I'd had that over the Raptor, although we're about to drive the Raptor R. And we've heard that it
rips.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. So yeah, Maverick Tremor, good car. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, me too. Good car.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd pick it, but it's just because I like to tow him, and I don't do a lot of off-roading. So even though it rides well.
Charlie would tow too much with it anyways. You buy the Tremor, so
yeah,
it doesn't really matter too much.
Exactly. This week at Daily Motor Headquarters, I am getting a cruise ship.
That's right, and I'm getting the 2022 Mercedes C300.
Thank you, Bill, who hooked us up at the last minute with that.
Yeah, so we will be running a comparison between Charlie's vehicle and my vehicle, so make sure you look forward to that on April 1st.
Essentially, I'm spending 7 days on a Dodge Challenger.
That is true. Oh, yes. Did you ever get Alyssa's medicine so she doesn't throw up?
That's right. It came. Thank you for following up.
Yeah.
I did learn, however, that the non-drowsy Dramamine is simply ginger root. It's just like a clinical dosage of ginger root.
It's just a capsulated ginger root.
Yeah.
You could have just gone to Whole Foods and got her a big ginger root. She could have gnawed on it on the plane.
Sure, she'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think you're going to enjoy the C300.
I think
it has
I will
the
as well.
Burmester 3D sound system.
Oh, it's got Burmester? Especially at night, because it will have S-tier ambient lighting.
You think you'll do a Topher Drives video, just cruising around listening to the Burmester? And
maybe. If I can find the motivation.
Yes, because you will also.
Oh, that's right. I will also be driving the all-new Lexus RZ.
With a round steering.
That's right. It's the Lexus RZ. I don't know what the numbers are. RZ 350E or something. No, it's the new fully electric Lexus, the first Lexus EV in America.
It's RZ because it's really.
Yeah, I don't really know what to expect. What I do know is that they're doubling us up, which I don't particularly care for.
But you're riding with Kurt Kreifels.
Riding with Kurt Kreifels, who I've never met, but looking forward to meeting.
Cool guy.
And it's nothing personal against anybody.
Chris doesn't like people.
I don't like being doubled up for press events, because then it just adds a whole nother factor into like being stressed about getting all your filming done.
Yeah.
Because the other person has to get all their stuff done too, and then it's just
really?
I also just like. I can't like get in the zone when someone's in the car with me, like when I'm trying to film like a really high like production video, like I don't know.
If the PR people really knew how to put one of these on, what they would do is they would partner a videographer with a print writer, because the print writer doesn't actually have to collect any content there other than maybe some photos. They just need the impressions.
Well, they just let you choose who you partner.
Okay, but them saying they should like
They should
you should input. Yeah. Do I need video or do I need just driving impressions? Yeah. Because if you work for just a podcast or an article, you only need to drive the car for like half an hour. I admit it's good to drive better, but like you could just sit there silently. And actually, this worked really well when I was partnered up with this guy from U.S. News and Reports. I can't remember his name.
Seriously?
He was a nice gentleman. It was a Sportage drive, and it worked out really well because I shot with him in the passenger seat. I was like, hey, this is so-and-so. And he's like, hey. And then I did my driving. And all he needed to do was drive a little bit. And he's like, okay. Like, I'm going to go home and write an article.
Well, so that worked well. It worked out for me riding with Braga for Nero. Because, I mean, she's the same way. She just writes. So it worked out. And then we went to Jack in the Box and got milkshakes. But it's more so for me, like, just being able to, like, kind of go at my own pace and like just be able to like get in the zone of like, because like this is silly, but like when I'm shooting for the Topher, I have to like, like I have to put on this like persona and like I have to like put myself in the mind of the Topher's cadence and like appeal to his audience and everything. And when there's someone in the car with you, it's just it just throws it off. I don't know. I'm just it's nothing personal against anybody. As we said, Daily Motor, don't take it personally. But it's just like I'm.
D-tip. Don't take it personal.
Don't take it personal. I am looking forward to meeting Kirk, though.
Yeah. Did you see Bev's Snapchat? I think it was this morning or whatever, with some Hawaiian flavored milkshake.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know that she sent me that one.
Okay. Yeah, she's always either leaving Hawaii or coming back What flavor is it?
I've got something from her, but it's not milkshake.
Curate.
Oh, is it this?
No.
That's a Celsius energy drink. Oh, I didn't get the milkshake unless it's on her story.
No, it's not. Sure.
No.
Yeah.
We get different ones.
I like how she sends enough snaps to
give us.
She's like, Charlie would appreciate this.
Yeah, right.
Chris would appreciate it. Yeah, so C300 should be good. RZ should be, we'll see.
You should be the cruise ship. You should go to the captain.
Yeah, I just feel like I just POV
Can
that.
I just give me 8 minutes within the thing?
It's just...
It's just...
You should do a POV review on Kirk Parsons. You should be like,
have him give me a piggyback ride?
Yeah. That could be one of our April Fool's videos. It's just the Topher giving us a piggyback ride.
Yeah.
It'll be
1989 Chris Amos POV.
Yeah.
Driving
binaural audio. Shift him into sport mode. You just kick him in the ass. And you might drive the Land Rover Defender 130 next week, which is just a long one.
Here I am thinking, look, we got one car next week, but it's
actually 3.
It's 3 cars.
Mm-hmm. Can we move on to the Copart and Facebook Marketplace section now?
Yes.
Okay. I bid on the Lexus CT200H.
Did you win it?
I did not.
Oh, how much did you lose it by?
$50.
That's depressing. I also had that happen to me before, and it is excruciatingly painful.
I'm not that bummed because who knows how high he would have gone.
True.
I do feel kind of bad in some way because it was just me and this other individual bidding from like $2,500. So I essentially wasted $1,600 of his dollars. If he would have just known that like I'm gonna if there were some way for him to be like, I'm gonna go up to 5 with this or 6 or whatever, then I would have just not even bid higher. He could have had it for $2,500.
Yeah. That's unfortunately not how auctions work.
I know. I get that. And Copart's happy now.
Right.
Does Copart get that money or does the insurance company? Copart gets some fees.
Yeah, Copart gets the fees. Insurance company will get that.
It's a shame though because there were black bumpers for sale near us for $500.
Wow.
I mean, there's an identical CT200H with more miles on it and a less interesting interior listed in Clinton for like $14,000.
Wow.
So that person will make money, and I could have made money even if I had bid $5,000 or $6,000. It's getting a little riskier. What if it did show up and there was something like a frame thing that I didn't know about?
Right. Yeah.
And then it's just more. Whatever. It's not meant to be. It wasn't meant to be.
Exactly.
I set myself. The bummer though is it costs $100 a year now to have a Copart membership, and so it's just like $100 that I just had to toss in for nothing.
Well, no, you've got all year still to
buy something stupid.
Come on, Charlie. Yeah.
But I
I
have a Facebook card for you that I think you'll love, and I think you're gonna say, Charlie, you have to purchase this.
Oh, good. It must be a beautiful saver.
No, it isn't. It may take me a moment depending on
disgusting early 2000s truck. Okay, so
no, it's not disgusting though. You're gonna properly like this. I really do think you. So for those of you who don't remember, I'm on this huge F250 and F350 Subaru kick here. I would like to.
It's his current special interest.
Yeah.
You already have one though.
Yeah, but I like the one, a bigger one. All right.
You sent me that.
Don't look yet.
Okay, I'm sorry. You sent me the one on the top left.
Yeah. I want to bring it up properly here for you.
Nice. We're not looking at the screen.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead.
Oh, ooh, pretty.
Now wait.
Chrome grille looks nice.
Does the phrase Tuscany conversion mean anything to you?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a conversion truck.
It is.
Tuscany, yeah, my buddy's dad actually owns that company.
Really? Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is
I think this was, he could have owned it at this time, I guess. Yeah.
This is a 1999 F350 dually 7.3 diesel, single owner, full size, two-wheel drive dually, full Tuscany Showstar conversion. So if we make our way here, and first of all, you'll notice these handles on the outside. Those are very silly.
Sick.
Nice.
Why would you not buy that for
all the way to the back?
I feel like that's a steal for $10,000.
Back seats look like they're in pretty good shape. Look at this dash here.
Wood, yeah, stick on wood. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty standard.
I don't know why the steering wheel's all
It's just like wiped, looks like.
Okay.
You could also grab, no tailgate.
The tailgate is missing and the bed is clearly used and it's got a farming plate on it, so I'm sure it's done a lot of farm horse type duties. Look at this.
Oh, the Tuscany badge is sweet on the doors.
All sorts.
It doesn't look super rusty.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, I think it's decent. Like, it's one owner truck, probably parked inside and stuff. Little gooseneck, yeah.
You'd have to get a tailgate for it, but that would be hard because it should just have the same tailgate as everything else.
Just some like gold sort of thing. This fake wood things all around. Interior.
I would be extremely jealous of you. I had that truck.
I know
because I would 100% drive that truck.
Here,
sick.
All right. 7.3 power stroke diesel, 88,000 miles on the engine, 309 miles on the truck. So there's a lot of highway.
Yeah, but a 7.3 with only 89K on it. Like, come on.
Brand new starter in the fall. 2 brand new batteries in the fall. Brand new alternator.
Do those take 2 batteries?
They do. Yeah, the diesels do. New transmission with 25,000 miles on it. Towing package.
So it's got a pretty fresh powertrain.
Collapsible gooseneck ball. Heavy duty bumper pull hitch. This part I'm not a huge fan of. F450 rear leaf springs. So they were obviously pulling a lot of weight. And it would ride very rough. Floor mats, front and rear. Really good tires, apparently. 2 tires less than 4,000 miles. Husky checker plate utility box and a bed liner.
That would explain why the back of the truck is sitting so high.
Because of the F450.
Yes.
Those would not be too hard to swap out, though. We put some like 250 on there. And then, look at the seller. Clearly a farm person. I mean, this is like who you want to buy.
That's who you
an F350 truck from. I mean, he has maintained this properly. He's got his cowboy hat on. He's riding horses.
So like we're pulling horses.
This truck has clearly been used to pull horses its entire
and he's to Bible things, so you like that as well.
Yes, clearly. Yeah. So I think that I have to have this truck.
I think you just have it.
Also, the price has been lowered from 18,000 to 10. However, it was listed 17 weeks ago. I don't know if that's a good thing.
Might not even be available anymore.
It is possible.
He may have just not ever market sold.
Right. That is a possibility. But it says bought a new truck. Only reason I'm selling. I mean, I think this would be a properly satisfying truck to own for a long time. Put some new headlights on there, which is super easy to do.
Or just polish those.
No, because I'd also swap out the ambers. I'd get the clear. Look a little more newer that way.
Oh, well, they still have a little amber on them. The clear ones.
Yeah, but it's not new.
Not as See, I like the amber. I like that.
Really?
Yeah.
It's very 90s.
I like that amber look.
So I would like to have this. So if you'd like to drop us donations in order to go to the fund of this.
If you're Alyssa, let Charlie buy this.
Oh yeah, she would have to. Well, I like how look at the red lines, 3,300 RPM. But here's a photo. I mean, the truck's running this. There is an airbag light on. So that's the thing. But
you can shoot an airbag. That one's hideous too because it's like been wiped with McGuire's or not McGuire's. Sorry, Armor All. You know, like that gross Armor All stuff that people wipe all over the interior.
Greasy. This is fantastic. I thought
that is excellent. That is genuinely excellent. I don't want it, but it is. I like that the 2-door Tahoe's like that.
This is a 97 Chevy Tahoe with 32-inch wheels.
Gold spins? Are they spinners?
Perhaps, yeah. Maybe they're spinners. I don't know what part of that would be. There we go. So this side it's missing on this side.
They could be detachable.
Yeah, it's possible.
That is really something.
No crimes have ever been committed in this car.
I was just going to say, why is it in a backyard? Why are all cars for sale in Detroit in backyards? Have you noticed that?
No, I don't even look at Detroit cars. No. This is also something quite good. A 2005, which I believe was the last year of this. Maybe it's the second to last year. It is. Honda Insight with a manual. In quite good shape. Usually these have like 300,000 miles on it. This one's only 176,000 miles.
I love that those have the S2000 steering wheel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. These are remarkably fuel efficient. The most fuel efficient actual car ever made, like non-hybrid it wasn't a hybrid.
Yeah, this is a hybrid.
But still, most fuel efficient car ever made. 5-speed manual gets up to 700 miles on full tank.
The tank's probably only like 12 gallons.
Yeah. So these were quite cool. Right here,
it's got the Maroney still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This would, and it's properly priced. $4,000 for this. And it's a good condition one. Yeah.
I love red.
I would be tempted to own it. If it weren't for the press cars, I'd probably own it.
Ask if I'll trade for an F250.
Yeah.
Because the sort of person that owns a Honda Insight definitely would want an F250.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if I have.
Oh my god, a Caliber SRT4?
Just wait.
Sorry.
Here's the 99 Isuzu Via Cross.
$4,000's a good price for it. It's clapped.
It's not really clapped. It does say it needs motor work.
So it needs a motor.
But I can't imagine anything on this car would be too crazy to work on. You know, it's probably a very simple Japanese engine.
You would think that. Oh.
Yeah, red.
Is it the Iron Man edition?
I don't. Actually, what are these formats?
Don't know.
That could be Iron Man.
It is a steering wheel.
Is this the 5-point harness?
Yes, it is.
I don't know why the passengers do have a 5-point harness. So this car may have been driven very wrong.
Yeah, especially if it needs a motor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably pass on that.
This is a 2008 Dodge Caliber SRT4, and doesn't look to be in horribly clapped shape.
I like those. Is that bad to admit?
No.
I think those are sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when those came out.
It's the only Caliber you want.
6250, that doesn't seem too bad.
No. And this says that he would trade for a nice daily driver 4-door car or truck.
You should try and get that.
Yeah, that'd be excellent. I am a bit disappointed that it doesn't show any interior photos, though.
Those have sweet seats, like very bolstered seats, and they're all manual.
Yeah, the SRT.
Yeah, all the SRTs are manuals.
I think there's one more truck that I was going to show you that I think you'd also agree that if I can't get the other one.
So many trucks saved. Well, that's nice looking. King Ranch.
F350 King Ranch dually. Another horse person who would probably use this for towing a horses. 391,000 miles on it. It's also been listed for a long time. Sorry, I have to go here. So, why do some people make 2 Facebook listings? Have you noticed that? That have like the same description.
No, I have an answer for that, because there comes a point where you can no longer refresh the listing and you just have to make a new one. Facebook will only let you refresh the listing like 4 or 5 times. Like refresh as in like renew back to the top.
Yeah.
Renew. Yeah, that's the word. So that's why.
Yeah.
Yes.
They put transformer back.
Okay. A few things from this picture. Number 1, eBay taillights. Number 2, Transformers logo on the tailgate. And number 3, that tailgate has been rattle canned. Yeah. Wow.
Very scratched up from because it clearly pulled a horse trailer.
Yeah.
So it's been bad. I would not pay $10,000 for this one, especially because I think it's a power. I think it's a 6.0.
It's a 6.0. Oh God.
Yeah.
And the interior's clapped.
I think it'd be the same truck as I had, except longer and dually.
And with a steering wheel cover.
Yes. Also, do you appreciate how they put this in here? A little screenshot that says, but an amazing fact is that diesel engines can run for 1 million to 1.5 million miles before needing any major diesel repairs.
Oh, and this is a 6.0. Okay. All right, sure. Because let's just generalize all diesel engines, because they're all the same.
Yeah. It even says that in the description. Where does it say? Oh yeah, it says the link right here. The link to what is the average life of a diesel engine.
I would not buy that truck.
Yeah, I won't. I wouldn't.
Don't buy that truck.
I think that's all.
I'd get the Tuscany converted 2-wheel drive.
100%. I think that's all for Facebook Marketplace listings that I have saved that I wanted to show. Because as you'll see if you're watching, they're mostly Super Duties.
I don't know that I have any Copart cars, unfortunately.
That's okay. There is another Sonic Blue truck that popped up.
Oh.
It's a full 4-door.
Oh, and they put the flares on, but actually put wheels on it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess to be fair, yours had wheels too until it was given to you.
Chris is checking to see if he's got any.
I do actually have one.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's running speedy on a Friday.
Maybe they're not the. Never mind.
Let me sign in for no reason. All right, give me a number.
Well, you might want to bet on this. You won't. 383.
Well, I already have the deposit.
828 73.
Also, side note, if you're from Georgia and you bought that CT out from under me, I shouldn't have brought it up.
Exactly, because they're probably listening.
This is a 2000. Is this what you meant to tell me? A 2011 BMW 335 X9.
Yeah.
With side damage.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the side damage?
Right there.
This? Mm-hmm. It's pretty minor.
It's pretty major.
So why are you showing this to me?
Because I want you to look at the interior.
Brown.
And
it's manual.
Manual. Turbo inline 6 all-wheel drive.
Yeah, they made a good amount of these, right? Like this isn't a rare car.
Not manuals.
Really?
Especially not an X-Drive.
Okay. Well, if you'd like to drive to Flint or have it delivered from Flint and replace some water pumps.
I think that this is actually Well, no, it's probably still an N54. Well, 2011, it could have been switched over to the single turbo motor. That wasn't as bad.
Yeah, this one, honestly, I'm really surprised there aren't any engine lights on. Really surprised.
But what took care of it, man? Maybe it burned out. Possibly.
It is pure sale, though, which is kind of goes up on Wednesday.
Charlie is not a fan of E90s, even though his father had one. And usually he's nostalgic towards cars that his father owned, but not the E90.
Too many electrical gremlins, too heavy of steering.
I think it's the heaviest steering any car. That was when I had my my E90. I remember like steering it in parking lots, and I was just like, "Oh my god, does this thing even have power steering?"
It's probably the best shape you've ever been in your life, just from
steering my E90. You know, it was like that Mazda CX-50.
Yeah. Well, thank you all so much for listening to episode 63 of the Daily Motor Podcast. I have become quite hungry.
Oh, I had. That's a Subaru. I was feasting on wings and mac and cheese this morning.
I think I might go home and have the same.
I am not hungry.
Yeah. And we will be back at you explicitly in like 12 days or so once I return home. I think it's actually just 10 days. And then that'll be a fun week because we have a lot of things to talk about that week as well.
Yes, indeed.
I also will hopefully have gotten my haircut by then because I've been trying all week to get my haircut. Still hasn't happened.
I can do it for you if you'd like.
Really?
Yeah, just.
We've already had the conversation about shaved heads on this podcast. It got canceled. Did you see that we had a podcast demonetized?
Yes, because of something you said.
And something that you said would get us demonetized.
Yes.
So there
you go. You're predicting the future there.
Wasn't it something about murder?
Yes.
Bumping people?
Yourself. Because of Equinox.
I wonder if it was Chevy that flagged it.
Be nice.
And we'll see you on the next one. We are Chris and Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, don't take it personally. Yeah, I need to get some WD-40 on this chair. It's sweet, you know, it always has been.